January 9, 2009. A man named Satoshi Nakamoto mined the first Bitcoin block in his Tokyo apartment. He embedded a headline from the Times. The money was printed. The hunt had begun. 2 years later, Las Vegas. A programmer named Laszlo Haniel sent 10,000 Bitcoins. It cost exactly $25 today. He bought 2 Papa John's pizzas. The first transaction ever. But real wealth wasn't in pizza. It was in electricity. In 2010, miners used simple laptops. By 2013, they built farms. The race to secure blocks became a war for power. The network needed security. Satoshi predicted difficulty would rise. It did. By 2015, miners spent $10 million yearly on electricity. Code became physical labor. Sweat and silicon. Then came the glitch. August 2014. A bug doubled Bitcoin supply rate. For 5 days, miners earned double. Trust cracked. The promise of scarcity wavered. Calm, today, Bitcoin is gold digital. But look closer. Every coin carries that first pizza's spirit. It started as a bet. Now it's a belief. The cult endures. 2016, Austin, Texas. 23-year-old Casey Price stared at his laptop. He held 200 bitcoins, bought for $1.67 each. By January 2017, that pile was worth $3,200 per coin. He didn't sell. He believed. Fast, then came the surge. December 2017. Bitcoin hit $19,789. In Manhattan, strangers hugged on subway platforms. Price doubled in 6 weeks. The math was simple. Buy low. Sell high, but fear felt real. Sarah Chen sat in a Tokyo apartment. She tracked 5 coins. Her heart rate hit 110 beats per minute. She watched Ethereum jump 40% in 1 hour. It wasn't investing. It was adrenaline. She sold too early. She lost $4,000. Calm, meanwhile, hodlers held still. They ignored the noise. David in Seoul kept his coins offline. He called it the diamond hands. While traders gambled, savers waited. Patience became the new currency. The market punished the impatient. Sudden, then, the crash, January 2018. Bitcoin dropped 30% in 10 days. Charts bled red. Sarah checked her phone. David checked his. The belief shifted. It wasn't money anymore. It was faith. Today, the cult endures. Price fluctuates, but the belief remains. Back in Austin, Casey still holds his coins. He looks at the screen. It's not about the money. It's about the story. We write it together. Seoul, 2017. David Kim stared at a spreadsheet. 3 wallets held 40% of all Bitcoin. He called them whales, but they weren't people. They were algorithms. Inside the exchange code, liquidity was fake. Bots bought and sold to themselves. Volume tripled in 1 hour. It wasn't a market. It was a theater. Back in Austin, Casey noticed the pattern. Same tweets. Every 15 minutes. 5 accounts pushed the same narrative. Sentiment wasn't organic. It was engineered. The price jumped 12%. Casey sold early. Then, the bots crashed. He lost $4,000. The market makers didn't want customers. They wanted victims. David closed the spreadsheet. The whales vanished, but the story remained. We don't trade coins. We trade belief. And belief is the only currency that never ends. Austin, Texas. 2017, David stared at his phone. It wasn't a chart. It was a shrine. He bore Bitcoin like an offering. Faith, not math. The first coin was minted in code. The second? In belief. Influencers on El Salvador streets pointed to charts like priests reading scripture. They called it Satoshi's will. Discord servers hummed with 50,000 voices chanting to the moon. It wasn't trading. It was a mass ritual. David joined the hive mind. Every 15 minutes, he checked the pulse. If the price dipped, he felt physical pain. The algorithm fed his anxiety. He traded data for dopamine. The market wasn't moving. His nerves were. Then, the silence. The influencers stopped posting. The charts flattened. David realized the prophets were just traders. The scripture was fake. The temple was empty. He had worshipped a mirror. He closed the app. No more charts. Just belief. David walked outside. The sun hit his face. For the first time in months, he felt real. The money stayed digital. He was back. Back in Austin, the cycle restarted. A new coin launched. The same pattern. The same faith. David smiled. He knew the ritual. But this time, he watched from the pews. Urgent, Austin, Texas. 2021, David's neighbor sold her house for 80 Bitcoin. She bought a Ferrari with it, but the real trade wasn't money.it, was faith. Fast pace, Elon Musk tweeted a dog photo. The price jumped 40% in seconds. David watched his portfolio double.it. Felt like magic.it was just momentum. Everyone quit their jobs, teachers, plumbers. David's boss, they traded spreadsheets for Shiba Inus. The market didn't care about value.it, cared about hype. Then came the crash. Bitcoin dropped 50% overnight. David's savings vanished. The Ferrari was now a bicycle. The temple had no roof. David checked the code.it was empty.no algorithm. Just people hoping others hope too. The cult wasn't in the tech.it was in us. Calm, David walked outside. The sun felt real.no charts, just sky. He knew the game would return, but now, he watched. Tense, it started in a Tokyo warehouse. Coinbase missed $11 million in cash, but the real rot was hidden. Stablecoins weren't backed by dollars, they were backed by other stablecoins. Urgent, by February 2024, Tether lost $1.40 billion. It was a house of cards. Every dollar was borrowed from a different bank. When the loan hit, the chain snapped instantly. The ripple hit Luna.it didn't just drop.it, evaporated. 90% of its value vanished in 4 hours. David watched his savings shrink to $42. Gone. It wasn't a crash.it was a theft. Billionaires used invisible debt derivatives. They bet against the money they claimed to hold. The reserves were empty shells, nothing inside. Calm, David closed his phone. The noise stopped. Silence returned to his apartment. The cult had no leader, just us, hoping the light stayed on. Did they? Calm, 6 months later. Tokyo. David walks through Shinjuku. He doesn't check charts. He buys coffee with Bitcoin. The screen flickers. It's just money now. No gods. Just code. The frenzy cooled. But the pulse remained. 8 million wallets stayed active daily. We didn't stop believing. We just stopped shouting. Did we evolve? Or just wait?